tuhle epizodu ti sype náš e-shop Land of Liberty.
Plný merče žhavějšího než tlumič po poslední dávce.
Dojdi si pro originální designy jako Žižka, Dumpol Max, Multicam
nebo Potuň Quer, performance doplňky a zazař jako stopovka v zadku polárního medvěda.
Podpoř nás nákupem na landofliberty.cz. Land of Liberty. Za svobodu se musí bojovat.
Czech Firearms Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Czech Firearms Podcast. My name is Lucas. This is Karl from Czech My Guns.
Heyo.
And today we are having the pleasure to have the legendary Jerry Miculek joining our podcast. Welcome, sir, and thank you for accepting the invitation.
My pleasure. It's gonna be fun.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We know that this is your second time visiting the Czech Republic.
Yep.
How is Czechia treating you so far?
Good. I like the countryside. You know, we're kind of out of town here, and yeah, it's good. The people have been good. The food is good.
Okay.
The weather is a little bit. We could use a little bit drier weather, but
yeah. It's raining as we speak. Yeah,
it's good.
And also, you visited the country because of the PCC World Shoot, which is happening like 25 minutes away from this place.
Yep.
And it's the first World Shoot which is ever happening historically, and we have the privilege to host it in the Czech Republic. And as I mentioned, also second time in the country, you guys picked up the place pretty much in the middle of nowhere.
That's right. Good place.
This is like a super redneck village.
It's good. I like it that way.
But this is place of wine.
Oh,
so wine and good people, relaxed people.
I saw some vineyards, so yeah, I figured they like their wine. So
yeah, you guys make sure that you pick some before you go home.
Okay,
you have to
show me what's a good one.
Yeah. Sure thing. Don't ask me.
But speaking about Czech Republic, we know that you have a special, let's say, connection to the Czech Republic.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, my father and my mother were both Czech, 100%.
100% Czech. 100%. So born in Czech Republic.
No, but of Czech origin.
Of Czech origin. Okay.
Their
parents.
Their parents were both Czech. So.
All right. So that's where the pronunciation of the surname comes from, because probably a lot of people mispronounce it when they see it written, right?
They do. My dad could read and write it. My mom could speak it, and my grandfather couldn't speak or write English.
Really?
Yeah. So he was Czech total. Yeah.
Wow! Cool. And have you learned something?
Not really. You know, they were in Texas and we lived in Louisiana, so it was just like once a year we went visit. Of course he didn't do any English. I couldn't speak any Czech.
Right.
So but the culture, the food, similar. You know.
Right. Yeah. Did they do like kolache?
Oh yeah, that part of Texas is famous for kolache, and
Okay.
Nice. That's very much Czech. We did our research, and actually it's possible to look up how many people with this surname live in Czech Republic now. It's not much. It's 76.
Really?
Yeah,
76 people with surname Miculek, and most of them are from Nový Jičín. So greetings to Nový Jičín.
Yeah. We know the region. We can only guess the origin. Maybe if we would look it up closely, we would find out. But that's not the task for this podcast. In this or in the interviews we do, we always ask how it all began. So how did you get into the guns and firearm industry?
Well, let me see if I can say this. Louisiana, where I grew up, very very much into hunting. So when I was in grade school, everybody, had a BB gun.
Okay.
Then you have an air rifle, and then you get a shotgun. Then you go hunting, squirrel hunting, rabbit hunting, deer hunting, a lot of ducks where I was in South Louisiana. So duck hunting was a big thing. We hunted ducks.
Is it open for everyone?
Yeah.
Just off you go and shoot some ducks or squirrels.
And bring the dinner home.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was good. We hunted duck really hard when I was young. We reloaded shells. Built our own pirogue, where you go in a swamp push pole.
Okay.
And so it was all good. It was a lot of fun.
How old were you? We were talking you were young, so
68,
what sort
1968.
Of age?
So I was about 14 years old when I started
Wow.
really going. Yeah.
That must have been something. I can only imagine myself, because growing up here in Czech Republic, around the age of 14, I was like probably shooting that air rifle, not really hunting with a shotgun.
We've been doing airsoft back then.
True. Yeah, we started with the airsoft.
Yeah, the duck hunting. I was fortunate. The area that I grew up in had a lot of flooded timber. A lot of cypress swamp that had been logged out back at the turn of the century. So a lot of flooded timber. You could push pole in there, and a lot of ducks. A lot of just good access, fishing, hunting. So fun.
So your first expertise with a shotgun started shooting ducks.
Shooting ducks, yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And you also mentioned during one of our chats that you've been shooting even the fish.
Oh, yeah. That was as a target of opportunity. It was actually legal to shoot a garfish when I was a kid.
Okay.
You could. They wanted them actually destroyed.
Because it was invasive, right?
They were a nuisance.
Yeah.
So we kept some, and some the alligators ate. It wasn't no big deal. A lot of them. So we learned how to do that.
Okay.
Nice.
You guys been shooting them underwater, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How does that work with the? what platform did you guys use?
I had a Remington nylon 66. And you just put it in the water. Boop, boop.
Really? You stick the barrel in the water?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You said Remington nylon 66.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites. I shot a lot of ammo through a nylon 66. It's probably one of the most indestructible, reliable 22 rifles ever made.
Yeah, I'm offline. Yeah,
no internet, no fact checking today.
Yeah, it was,
and we are not really experts on
they had
US firearms.
They had an exhibition shooter, Tom Fry.
Okay.
He shot, I want to say, wow, I'm trying to remember the number of blocks, 500,000 wood blocks or 100,000 wood blocks. He had only 8 misses, throw them in the air and shoot them.
What?
Okay. With nylon 66, I think I never had a malfunction.
Crazy.
Yeah, look him up. I think it was Tom Fry. He was one of my.
I'm writing it down.
The old exhibition shooters really piqued my interest in shooting.
Okay.
They had a fella by the name of Ed Topperwine. He was an exhibition shooter back in the turn of the century. Him and his wife, Plinky, was her nickname.
Okay.
So Herb Parsons, who shot for Winchester for a number of years, pretty famous shotgun exhibition shooter. Very impressive demo. They would travel around the towns and shoot demos. And Remington at one time had, I think, 30, almost 40 exhibition shooters.
Wow.
See, even back then.
Exhibition shooter.
Yeah, you ever see where they would shoot they had a sheet of tin, and they would have a 22 rifle, and they would sit for about here to the door, and they would draw pictures with 22 bullets.
Oh my God!
And the famous one was would be an Indian head, and they would make the outline and the eye and the mouth and load it, and they would autograph them and give them away as a prize.
That's the most American art I've ever heard of.
Yeah. You never heard of it? You never heard of it?
No.
First time.
We've never heard of exhibition shooters.
So that's what really piqued my interest in exhibition shooting. And getting me into shooting was watching these guys do a performance in front of an audience, live audience. And Tom Knapp, you heard of Tom Knapp?
No, not really. Sorry.
He was a shotgun exhibition shooter, United States current guy. He just passed away. He gave an excellent performance. I watched him perform, and John Satterwhite was another exhibition shooter. I watched his performance. I was shooting the Steel Challenge in California one year, and John Satterwhite was doing like 3 performances a day.
Okay.
And if I wasn't shooting the match, I'd run over there and watch Satterwhite doing his performance and kind of learn how you work an audience.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because it's an art form.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You need to be a stage
people
artist.
excited about shooting and then do a performance and a show and tell. And that's kind of got me that kind of led me into shooting records.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Competition is one thing, but exhibition shooting, I would say, would be more exciting.
Oh, I must say that you become exhibition shooter yourself.
I did.
Right?
For a number of years. Smith & Wesson had me going around to different ranges in the United States where I'd be there from, say, 6 to 8, and I'd do 2 performances. Guys would come in, we'd have an audience. I'd do a show and tell.
Wow.
Do a dog and pony show.
Okay.
That's what we call it, dog and pony show. So do a rattle battle, talk about revolvers, do reloads, rapid fire, multiple targets, shoot upside down, and little finger, and
I see.
all that kind of
and
stuff.
What was the conversation afterwards? So you mentioned that you did the show off,
right.
and then you say something, or you said something, right?
Yeah.
What was the topic? You explained the functionality of a revolver, or
just talk about guns.
Okay.
And sometimes I would, we'd shoot different targets, and I would save them and autograph them for people in the audience.
I see. Okay.
Shoot a playing card in half, or and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, stuff like that. Just little trick stuff. But it's mostly, so I could say this: you kind of form a personal relationship with the audience, and then if you get a good read, you have a good performance. It's just what it is, So I found that to be a lot of fun. It taught me a lot about how to be on the line in a match. Your mental game has to be really good if you're going to shoot a demo on command.
Exactly.
And everyone is watching.
People.
If I'm going to shoot 6 and do a reload and shoot 6, I better know how to do that very well.
Oh my God!
So subconsciously, what I have to do is to visualize the whole event, and then you just watch it happen. And that's one of the things I was watching with Tom Knapp and these guys, is how they lead into a performance, because it's a performance. Shooting is a performance.
Yeah.
So if you don't have a mental game and a state, and what am I going to do next, or how am I going to do it, and you lost. So you have to have a little bit of a mental game. And I think that really taught me more than I actually realized. Sitting here talking to you guys, actually bringing that out of me. Okay. I never really thought about it much, but it kind of set a precedence for competition shooting.
Yeah.
Because I've had some. Well, I shot in Bisley, England in '91. I think they probably had 600 people watching.
Wow.
I was up on a scaffold platform with a microphone, talking to a big crowd, and everybody was happy, and I shot well. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool to do that. So,
is there, speaking of about this kind of performance, is there second chances, or you just need to perform like, right from the get-go?
It's interesting that you say that. If you watch someone who is a true master at what they do, it doesn't look difficult. You watch a guy play a guitar, extremely well. It doesn't look hard.
It looks natural.
Yeah. So if you make it look too easy, they don't appreciate it.
Oh.
So you have to learn the art of building up.
Oh. Okay.
Expectation, and then you have that. Then you have the moment.
Oh, I see.
That's the art of exhibition shooting.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
You know what I mean?
You cannot do your best at the first moment.
No,
right?
you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
It would be too easy. Too easy.
Yeah, and finished in a minute, right?
Yeah, because everybody watch TV and they watch all the, people shooting. That's not realistic.
Yeah.
But it's cool. You learn.
Endless magazines and stuff. Great shots.
Anyway.
That's interesting, sir.
I've never heard about the exhibition shooters before, but they probably I've probably seen it somewhere, but I've never thought or even look it up.
It was really
common.
It
was a big thing.
It was common in the U.S., especially small towns where you could shoot like a .22 rifle in the air somewhere safely.
Okay.
They would throw stuff in the air and shoot with rifles and shotguns and just do all kind of shooting stunts like that. That was safe at the time, but now with so many people in residential, you can't really do that safely. So
true.
Potřebuješ bojovou výhodu? Chceš nakopnout víc než zásah z 308 do plátu? Něco malého, co vleze do kapsy a vytáhne tě ze sraček? Kávové sáčky Grind jsou tvoje legální munice. Vyber si příchuť a zvol sílu pro ideální hitfaktor, ať už potřebuješ mírně doladit fokus nebo fakt odpálit atomovku. Žádný nikotin, cukr ani olovo. Jen čerstvě namletá káva a čistá energie. Šoupni to podred a jeď. www.grinds.cz Grinds, když potřebuješ nastřelit.
Safely, so.
True. I can only wish there were, possibilities to record more of this stuff, because that must have been amazing to watch.
It was a lot of fun. I had some really good performances and some not so good, but watching a guy do an exhibition shoot, I thought it's what kind of got me into doing all this.
Yeah. And have you had something like a specialty of yours that you were doing and you were famous for?
Revolvers.
Revolvers, absolutely. Yeah, I thought so.
So that was my expertise.
Still is. If we go back, I watched one of your videos where you said that one of the first pistols you've ever shot was actually CZ.
CZ was a Czech made 32.
Yeah, it was a CZ-27, I believe.
think it was. Yes, my dad took it back home as a war trophy.
Nice.
From the Second War. He was here in Czech during the Second War. He could read and write it.
Yeah. So
the Army Air Corps send him here as a paperwork, desk work.
So because now we actually celebrated 80 years since the end of the Second World War.
Yep.
If he was actually in Czech Republic, he was in that like not so big area that was liberated by U.S. armies in the west of the country.
He never did say exactly where he was.
Okay.
The World War II guys never talked.
Mm-hmm. Never.
They came home, put things in a chest, and
right.
He never told me where he was or much of what he did.
I see.
They just never talked about it. That was their, they went and they did their job, and they saw things they didn't want to see, and you had to do things they didn't want to do. So when they came home, it was like, we're just gonna pick it up. So
just draw a big line behind it.
Erase it.
We have a similar story from my family, but it's not from the Second World War. But the brother of my grandmother, he emigrated to France and was part of the French legions. And he never spoke about what he did in French legions. He was in Indochina and some other places. And exactly as you say, he never spoke about it. And after his death, they actually discovered a big photo album in the attic. Yeah. So they were like going through it, never of the pictures they've never seen.
Right. That's
from
pretty
the
common,
past.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting, but also kind of sad, right?
It is.
Because then you explore afterwards.
I know. You need the verbal.
Yeah.
So,
and you see big stories on the pictures and.
There was a lot of guns came back into the U.S. after the war.
Mm-hmm.
They were allowed to bring trophies, right?
They were called. It was called a duffel bag cut.
Oh yeah, duffel bag.
You ever heard of duffel bag cut?
Yeah.
Where it didn't fit, you cut it off and you put the stock in. So, you could bring it back. I mean, if it fit in that duffel bag, they didn't care.
Right.
So a lot of machine guns came back.
Wow.
They had an armistice in the United States. I think it was 86 was the last registration period for
machine guns.
For that class of firearm.
Oh, okay.
And if you didn't register it by then, it wasn't legal to possess.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the war trophies, were registered and made legal.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Yeah. By the way, do you still have that pistol?
I do.
The VC-27?
I do. Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. Carol would love to have a look at it.
Oh yeah. I would like to see, because they were actually manufactured throughout the war also, and after, because the design is pre-war. And it either has Czech markings or can be done or manufactured throughout the war with the German markings. That would be interesting.
German markings.
German markings. Yeah. Okay. So
it was pretty crude.
Okay.
The finish, phosphate finish, pretty rough machine.
Yeah.
It was definitely a wartime.
No time to spare.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Wartime manufacture.
Yep.
All right. So we went through the beginnings pretty fast.
Yeah. So and that. So you mentioned that you started with the shotgun hunting. Then you really enjoyed the exhibition kind of shooters, and then this kind of demo guys, I would say.
Yep.
And when exactly did you get into the your kind of performance shooting or competition, I would say?
76 was the first year I shot a match.
Okay, and this is the pre-records, or you wanted to start shooting competitively, and then you came with the idea of making records?
Yes. I didn't know anything about competition shooting.
Okay.
I knew nothing of the competition world or any kind of competition-oriented handgun stuff. And I met a gentleman shooting a Swenson. You heard of Arnold Swenson 45s? Arnold Swenson was a custom gunsmith back in the late 60s. And this gentleman was shooting a Swenson out of a holster and doing reloads and shooting a piece of steel on a steel rod, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. You could do this and have fun, you know, and I can do that. So, and after I met him, he shot in the Miller Combat League, which predated Jeff Cooper.
Oh, okay.
He was a contractor working on the Mississippi River at one of the big industries there, and I met him by chance, and he was going to be there for like 6 months. He wanted to start some shooting matches. So my randomness of meeting him at that moment, and my little brother and I were both into guns, you know, hunting and shooting, just having fun. We used to go, well, you buy a carton of 22 bullets, you know, 500 rounds. We spent all weekend trying to invent some way to shoot it, you know. So then when we found you actually had something you could shoot at, and it was a sport, we jumped on it. We jumped on it. So.
Yeah. And what was the competition like back then? Was it close to like a USPSA or IPSA, or was it just some kind of target shooting disciplines or any kind of?
It could be anything. It was random papers and steel. You just
so they just established the competition and they just written the rules.
Yeah, every little local club had their own thing.
Oh, okay.
So we started our stage of the fire with 2 pieces of aluminum that you clang together, shooter ready, stand by, and you had two guys with stopwatches, and when it goes bang, you started shooting, and every stage had a piece of steel you shot at the end. And
a king.
And then they would stop the watches and look at them, and you had like, 23.2 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you didn't like the guy, 24.
We like a pre-timer.
We didn't have timers then.
Of course.
We had stopwatch, you know.
I see.
So it was kind of cool. We used to make our own targets. We came up with our own target.
Okay.
So we just had a template. We'd take cardboard and cut them out, you know, make a 5-ring or whatever. And that's what we shot. So do your own thing.
Yeah, that's interesting. And then it gradually become the passion, like or really thing that you know stick with you for life, right?
Yeah, it was the want to do better. You know how you start something and you're really bad at it?
Of course.
So when I started shooting, I was like, oh, well. So now I wanted to get better, and you put more time into it.
And was the shooting back then focused on one-handed shooting, or?
I was 2.
Okay, 2 already.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very kind of modern.
The Weaver, you know, push-pull. That was a big thing back then. That was kind of radical.
Yeah.
U.S. Army training back in the Second War was
one-handed.
You know, there's a target, classic target, or
shooting from the hip, like the combat style.
FBI taught, you know, hip shooting.
Yeah.
And all the sheriff departments and everything up until I would say the 80s still had what they call quick draw, which is, you know, come out and just point, shoot.
Yeah, lots of revolvers in the service, right?
Very much so. Yeah. It wasn't until I would say the later 80s and 90s where law enforcement swapped to pistol. Revolver was standard. Smith & Wesson was king. Just every police officer had a Smith & Wesson, you know, model 1915s or whatever. Model 10s were very popular. And that was the standard, you know, 6 shots.
Yeah. Was probably very, very, let's say, traditional from the Wild West times, I would say. A lot of revolvers in use.
You know, pistols in general really wasn't that reliable. Until
till 1911?
1911 was if you shot ball ammunition.
Okay.
So it took a really good pistol smith, like my father-in-law started pistol smith in 1950. His job was to make them reliable and accurate.
Okay. So that's another background story we didn't know.
So that's Jim Clark, which is Kay's dad, my wife, started his business in 1950. He was a bullseye shooter.
Oh, okay.
So he would take, you know, standard Colt pistol and modify it, you know, feed ramp and throating and tight barrel, you know, fit the frame and the slide.
Yeah.
Right. And make it into a target grade pistol.
Nice.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, kind of what's interesting about Jim Sr., Kay's dad, was he was the first civilian to win Camp Perry overall championship. It was always dominated by the military.
Right.
Because the Army, Navy, Air Force all had the best ammunition, you know, stacked to the ceiling.
Of course.
So Jim showed up, built his own gun, loaded his own ammo, and won. And he started.
Wow.
He won with a Ruger Mark I that he customized and accurized. And back in that time period, Bill Ruger had just started his business and was going broke. Couldn't sell the guns. And Jim won that national championship, set Bill Ruger and Ruger Firearms to the next level. So Bill Ruger and Jim Sr. were handshake buddies until they died. He could call Bill Ruger and say, "Hey, Bill, I need this and that," and they wouldn't, boom.
Yeah, just throw it at him.
They always had respect for one another. And I came into Jim Sr.'s shop. Unfortunately, Jim Sr. died in 2000. But I came in the shop, and there was on the guns. I was always looking at the guns that come in, and there was 2 Ruger boxes there, and the serial numbers were all zeros on both boxes. So I said, I went get father-in-law, went get Jim Sr. I said, I want one of them guns. And he said, "Oh, you gun nuts! You always want something." I said, "Come take a look." And he come took a look, and he said, "Oh, that's Bill Sr.'s gun." See, back then, the Ruger had a collectors association. So that serial number was assigned to Bill Sr. And when he saw it, it was shipped to Jim Clark by some mistake. So he called up Bill Ruger when I was standing there. He said, "Hey, Bill, guess what I got?"
Oh, my.
Anyway, it was, kind of fun.
It's like we are really talking about the very beginning of the sport shooting. Like with that Ruger Mark I, shooting the competition and customizing it.
Yes,
in the 50s,
Yeah,
but that's what brings me to idea how the Europe or actually Czech Republic fell short on this.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it was all banned, so the only chance for you to compete or shoot guns would be being part of the police or military or.
Or there were these organizations like Svazarm and so on where you could shoot but it was always based on like a military preparation. So you were like preparing for military service or something like that.
Yeah. But not a chance.
There was no.
You could own the gun yourself and
possession.
fine-tune it back home or something like that.
It was not allowed to have a firearm on your own or something like that until the Velvet Revolution in the '89 and afterwards. Yeah. But this is not our field. We were just born at that time.
Yeah, you were. I was still,
mushrooming, as we say here.
Yeah, that's right.
So at the very beginning, but you had to have a different kind of job before you become a professional shooter.
Yep.
What have you done?
I was what they call a millwright, which is an advanced machinist working on big equipment.
Okay.
Steam turbines, horizontal, vertical pumps, alignments, and.
So that's a very skilled job.
It is, and I had to be a multi-craft mechanic. So I had to be a certified welder. We had to do plumbing. So when I would go I worked at a fertilizer plant. We made phosphoric and sulfuric acid. So when I went to work, I didn't know what I was going to work on.
Right.
So I walk in that day and they give you a work order. You're working on an 8,000 horsepower steam turbine.
Oh, I see.
Or you walk in, I might be repairing a steam leak on a valve. So you got to go cut a valve out, weld it back up or whatever. So being multi-craft, you had to be flexible enough to do anything industrial related to that.
So you had to establish very general skill in terms of technical knowledge. And
so it was fun in the aspect you didn't do the same thing every day.
Yeah.
That would be boring.
So no stereotypes.
Yeah, so you just went to work and you worked on stuff. And I always enjoyed working on equipment. When we were kids, we'd build boats, work on lawnmowers and, pull an engine out of a car and rebuild it or something, and put it back in. So being a mechanic is part of what I am. Nice. So that's when I look at a gun, and I think that's what really separates me somewhat when I come into the gun industry. I'm already a welder and a mechanic and a machinist, so I can appreciate how things work. And I'm Johnny on the spot. So if my gun goes down, I have to know how to repair it and keep it running. So most everything I do and I build that I can repair. So I have a lathe and a milling machine in my garage and a welding machine. So I just do, I kind of spoiled Lena when she was young. She'd just bring me a gun and go, fix it.
It's broken.
Or clean it, So that was my job.
I haven't seen it last week when you guys landed in this country.
Yeah,
you've been inspecting the Linus gun, and it was like, what was that? So you gave a lesson on that one.
Yeah, so being a maintenance mechanic, I'm always looking for things that are not right. You know, so.
Yeah, that's I would say part of what we are as a man, right? So we always think logically, and we wanna take or give it a look from a technical point of view, and try to look inside the things, see how it works, and possibly fix them,
make it better, make it better.
Yeah. That's very cool. So what was your first revolver?
Single action Ruger 22.
Okay, and that's back then. If you were a kid.
Yep, that was. Well, I couldn't afford anything more.
That's good enough, I would say.
I had to get something I could afford. I've paid my way, from the start. Nothing was, thrown at me. I didn't get guns and ammunition. So if I wanted to shoot, like when my father bought me my first shotgun, he handed it to me with one box of shells, and he said, "You feed it."
Oh, nice. So how did you guys earn money back then as a kid?
Well, we cut grass, or mostly stuff like that. I had odd jobs. I worked at a grocery store, cleaning up the meat market and pump gas or whatever.
Okay.
Work at a gas station, fix flat tires or whatever. Try to, make some side money, and then
whatever it took to get some ammo.
Exactly. Get a carton of 22.
Did you ever get paid by the ammo?
No, I hadn't. No.
Yeah, but maybe they would make it easier, right? Yeah. So, so you started with the Ruger revolver, but you gradually started to perform with the revolver, and was your first competition with the revolver? Am I right?
No, it was with a 1911.
Oh, 1911.
Yep.
Okay, so with the pistol.
It was pistol. I won my first match with a Colt Gold Cup.
Ooh.
And then it wasn't, I think, just shortly after that, I went to a Smith & Wesson Model 10.
Okay.
38 special.
Okay.
And then I shot a Model 15 for a good while. And then Model 27s, which is the big end frame. And that's really a workhorse gun. That Model 27, you can shoot it. I've got a couple with 180,000 rounds through them.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. So you never really focused on the one specific discipline, right? You just use them all.
I did, yeah.
As you do nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Shotgun, rifle, PCC, pistol, revolver, everything.
Right.
Yeah. So is your passion still the biggest for the revolver? Excuse me.
It's probably what brought me the most satisfaction.
Okay.
They're the hardest to shoot.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
And correctly. So if you want to shoot a revolver, if you learn how to shoot a revolver well, a pistol is easy.
Yeah.
So I challenged myself on that platform, and enjoyed the challenge. I've never taken a pistol class or a shooting class.
Okay.
So I just bought a gun and went shoot.
Okay.
and I kind of like the idea of not having a preconceived application of what that thing is, that product, that gun, to the performance.
Oh, okay.
Because preconception can limit you.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I see.
Because nobody told me I couldn't do it. Or this is how to do it. I just want to do it. I want to do it. And I actually learned how to shoot incorrectly, but it brought me to where I'm at today.
Interesting.
So I'm the kind of guy, you tell me this, and when you're not looking, I'll just do the opposite to see where it goes.
I see.
That doesn't sound like the recipe for the success, but
but it actually
but actually it worked.
So I had no training whatsoever. I just went out and started shooting. Watch other people, watch their body dynamics, their balance point, the pivot points, and then what they're trying to see, and just kind of mimic. And I would try their technique, but if you actually observe, you can learn a lot by just looking at the other guy.
Yeah. That's right.
One thing I was told when my dad, a few things he told me, that he said, always watch the guy ahead of you, because one day you might have to fill his shoes.
Yeah.
So when I go to a match, I want to watch the pro and I want to watch the amateur because he might bring something. Because a lot of monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
Without any question.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you get locked into that. And then we all were doing the Weaver, and the next thing you know, Brian Enos and shooting,
different style, and everybody copies that.
Yeah,
without
so
thinking.
we're guilty of trying to mimic other people, and then you lose that. Is that right for me?
Yeah.
So everything's evolving.
Yeah, you need to
and
adapt.
And that's probably one of the reasons I'm still competitive, because everything I do, Guy, you ask me, why do you shoot that way? And I'll tell you, this is where I'm at today. But tomorrow I'm willing to change. Every time I go to the range, I want to try to prove what I'm doing is wrong so I can evolve.
Wow.
I see.
Keep
I see.
evolving. Once you say, I like to do it this way, you've lost the moment.
Uh-huh. So
you always have to challenge.
You never get stuck in one style. You always
can't.
open for everything.
Or you're going to fossilize.
Right.
Once you fossilize mentally or with your technique, everybody passes you up.
Oh yeah.
So you have to constantly evolve.
So stay open-minded and.
You're very much open-minded.
Yeah.
So that's one thing Lena and I pride ourselves on when we train, is that we challenge ourselves on every aspect of what we do. There has to be a better way. I go there, I'm going like, let's try it this way. And you put enough effort into it, now that's not going to work.
Okay.
Let's stand like this. Well, that ain't going to work.
So it's trying a lot of dead ends.
So then you work on different concepts, and you always challenge your belief that there's always something better. Always something better.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how evolution is. I mean, this sport, if I would shoot like I do today, 30 years ago, I'd have been a god. But now I'm just average. I'm just 70-year-old man showing up at a match trying to shoot fast. But things have evolved. All the greats and Rob Latham and all these guys, Eric Graffel, and Todd Jarrett so all these guys evolved the sport.
Yeah.
And if you don't evolve with them, you're not
You're losing the track. Yeah.
So and things have changed a lot since. Last 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, it has been.
Aiming at shooters, then shoot smart. The Czech Firearms podcast is listened to by athletes, professionals, and everyone who takes firearms seriously.
Ads here don't fly into the void, they hit the mark.
Your product, your brand, your moment. Czech Firearms podcast. Advertising that hits you.
Email us at czechfirearmspodcast@gmail.com and let's make this happen.
Changed a lot since, last 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, it has been very rapid change. You're shooting for more than 40 years now, right?
Yep.
So you must have seen everything.
Seen a bunch.
Almost everything. But do you think that we are getting closer to the limit of the human body in these sports? Because there must be a limit somewhere. The body is not going to evolve as much.
Or maybe if we are maybe edging the process, mind process.
It's getting close, I think, in some aspect. I still think there's some ways of training that haven't been addressed to get to the next level. And that's one of the things I really want to. It's been in the back of my mind. Matter of fact, I was talking to Ben from Flux on some visual training aids. Because the secret of shooting fast is seeing fast.
Oh, that's right. That's true.
So it's very seldom taught in any training course anywhere how to see fast. And I can go back through all my wins, and man against man especially when it's very fast. The visual skills is what separates the guys instantly. It's not the mechanics. Just about everybody can pull the triggers fast is the other guy. But how you see and apply it is what that's the next level.
Okay.
Special forces guys have different vision skills things that they train with, but I think it could be enhanced even more. And that's one of the things when I lay in bed at night thinking about what I want to do next is probably get into vision skills and bring it into the forefront, and that will elevate the next level of shooter.
Okay. I see.
Because if you talk to anybody about shooting, they'll always give you a visual aspect. You talk to a shotgun guy, like a skeet shooter or a trap shooter, they see the bird so hard they want to see the ridges on it when it's flying. Their term is see a blur, shoot a blur, which is not good.
Right.
If you're actually seeing well, things are like you've probably had matches where you shot really well and you didn't look like you were trying.
Yeah.
And you saw it very distinct.
Yeah.
But to repeat that, how do you bring that into a very much repeatable performance? And that's truly a champion.
That's a good question.
Yeah, absolutely.
You need to get yourself in that specific mood, right?
Yeah.
The specific mindset, I would say.
Yeah,
in the zone.
Yeah,
but knowing how to see and what sequence and what's important and what's not, that's what really separates the. I would say you never master anything, but it makes the guy more consistent. If you think you master something, you really don't. You're just at a level.
Yeah.
True master never exists.
Wow.
He never exists.
Yeah. That really brings us to the mental game.
Yeah.
So luckily, what I feel in my community is that the mental game and psychological preparation, it's getting bigger as we speak.
Yep.
It always what I felt personally. We always discuss like the skill, the technical aspect, the actual gun, the accessories you are using, but no one really focused on the mental game and how you think and how you should prepare for the performance, how you should what you are supposed to think about before the match and during the actual stage. But there is different approaches, right?
There are. It's as individual as the person.
Yeah.
I'll kind of give you an insight on one of my performances that when you brought that topic up, it made me think back. I shot a Trigicon had a match. It was a money match. I think it was $50,000.
Nice.
Which in our game is like
hell of a motivation.
So we had a camera crew follow me. It was from shootout. We did the shootout lane thing, and you went there and you shot their guns. So there's that last stage of the match. I didn't notice at the time that I had to do really good there. So I came up there, and there's a bunch of ARs and there's some magazines, and you just picked one up and you shot a stage with it. So I laughingly said to myself, this is the best gun on the rack. And I picked it up, and I shot a probably 40% better score than anybody on that stage, and I won the money. Now, I shot that rifle unfired. I'd never fired it before until I shot it in the match, and I shot a level that was above what I could do with my own gun. Hardly ever happens.
Wow.
And if I tell you what I saw, you wouldn't believe me.
So tell us.
Didn't see anything.
So you've been
it's all subconscious.
Oh my God.
That's probably I've had it happen, and I can only bring it on when I'm usually under very much extreme stress, I should say, to where I only see just snippets, but never the whole thing. Because once you see the performance, you want to guide it, you want to drive, and your subconscious is always better.
Yeah.
So it's hard to turn it over. And it usually for me, it takes a lot of stress to turn it over. When I'm in that zone, I had it happen here on one stage. And I hadn't had that happen in a long time.
Like emergency mode.
Yeah, no, not emergency, but it's total relaxation.
Oh.
Where you don't, the way I probably explained that to you about the 2x4 or wood plank on the ground.
Yeah.
You take every competitor here, they can walk that wood plank, say 10 foot long on the ground, plank that wide, but you put it up 10 feet and you try to walk it. What do you get?
Yeah.
You get jerky. You put it up 100 feet. So all of a sudden it's the same performance, but you have assigned a value to it. So now
the stakes are high.
You perceive it to be high, but it's the same.
Yeah.
You have to convince yourself that it's the same performance as it's on the ground or it's 100 feet. It's the same mechanical skill, but when you get in a match, you get that jerk. That's your subconscious fighting the conscious. One's driving, the other one's bucking it. That's why you shake, and you get eye flutter. If you ever shot a stage when you get eye flutter, that's the same thing. Your subconscious is fighting the conscious, and it's making you want to do different things instead of just letting it flow. You want to drive. The best thing you got is just let it just watch it. If you can watch it happen, you won't ever drive it.
Yeah. But how to bring that state of mind, right?
To me, I have to get really stressed, and then it flattens out.
So
I would say it's opposite of the most people.
Well, I'll give you a good example. I was shooting an American handgunner. This was '97, and I was shooting against a fellow by the name of Jethro Denicio from the Philippines. And in that time period, Jethro was what I'd call the metal monster. He was winning Steel Challenge. He'd come out that host and smoke, everything. He was the speedster, and I still have a lot of respect for him. I mean, I'm not talking bad about Jethro. He earned his mark. We were shooting the American handgunner, and it was the best out of 7. So you shot different divisions. I shot optic revolver. And there was iron-sighted revolver, open pistol, iron-sighted pistol, single action. And at the end, you shot man against man, and you for overall champion. So I worked my way all the way to got to Jethro. He was open pistol, I was open revolver. So best out of 7 runs, he beat me square on 3 runs. He trashed me like I didn't know my own name. And then I got on the 4th run, and I was vibrating on the inside, and all of a sudden it just went. Don't do that. So I said to myself, all you have to worry about is hear the timer. And I came out on that 4th run, and it was so good, and I didn't see it. I knew I couldn't mess it up. Then I shot another one, beat him. 3rd run, beat him. 4th run, beat him.
Oh.
And the only thing I could tell you that I saw things, little snippets that when things wasn't exact. But far as saying I felt the trigger, I knew where the dot was, I couldn't tell you.
It just happened.
It just put it back in the holster.
My God.
You had to shoot by 5 targets, hit the stop plate like 3 times, because you're doing overlapping. And I'd grind it to the ground, and all I remember was that was a good one.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. But
that was probably the most surreal feeling I ever had. And I've duplicated it, but I have to go to another level of stress to flatten it out.
The stress really opened it up.
It does. When I shot stage 28 here with the droppers.
Yeah. With the guillotine.
The guillotine, I got up on the line, and the Wi-Fi was out. So they were staging me, and I had to wait.
Yeah.
So I'm going, I'm waiting,
Yeah,
this is not good.
It's processing, right?
Yeah, so
I got you.
I'm there. I'm there, and I'm starting to vibrate a little bit, thinking, what am I going to do here? And then I just said, well, my term for it is going flat. When I check out, I was able to check out, and it was boom. I think it was a 365.
Nice.
1 Charlie. So I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I knew it was good.
Yeah, it just happened.
Yeah, I knew it was good. I went, okay, there it is.
And that stage is really momentum oriented. You need to catch that momentum.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you lose that. There were 2 guillotines and 1 pop-up target, right?
What's really hard to believe is how much we don't use when we shoot. We waste so much of who we are on the line that you can't really comprehend how much you waste.
Yeah. Focus on the positive, I would say.
Yeah, we that's why I want to really work on the visual. That will always lead you to a good performance. Anything, you know what you're doing, but to turn it over and you see it, if you're seeing fast, you're shooting fast. Some people just have that ability. B.J. Norris, we did junior camps at home, Kay and I, where we'd get like 10 or 12 juniors for a week from all around the country, and they came in. We did a shooting camp, and B.J. Norris showed up, and he's won a lot of steel challenge matches and what have you. But at that time, he was just starting, and as an instructor, I could kind of see who was, a little bit
Who's
ahead.
popping up?
Yeah. So I had BJ come up there, and we were doing some concepts, and I explained to him what I wanted him to see, and he freaking nailed it, man.
Yeah.
And he could feed off of it, and instantly, it got to where at the end of the week, I'd say, BJ, come up here and demo this, and he could get up there and show him. And
Nice.
Yeah. So
Pure talent.
he can see fast.
Yeah.
And some people can't. They make it too rigid. They make it one target performance, but a lot of one targets.
Right.
He had the concept of flowing and the vision, and it speaks for himself. All the championships he's won.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool watching it.
So what I'm hearing is that the most people probably, when the stakes are high, when they are these 100 feet above the ground, they freeze. They cannot perform. They are trying to be in the control. But this level of stress actually brings the unconscious in you to perform. So that's what makes it unique, I would say.
I think other people do it probably a lot better than I do, but that's what makes me tick.
But you can do it well, like not on demand, but when it matters. Let's say.
Yeah, fortunately now and then I can make it happen.
Nice.
I would like to do it more, but it's kind of like a precious commodity. I don't waste it just anywhere because I don't really know how to retrieve it all the time. I wish I did.
Yeah.
I wish I did. Sometimes
it's not on demand.
Sometimes you're just not mentally there.
Yeah. That was my point to bring the consistency, right? For the mindset. So you fine tune yourself for the moment, for that specific timer time, I would say, where you need to really perform.
Right.
And that time is really important, and that time matters. But to bring that the stage of mind, that's the trickiest part.
What I can equate that to is people who shoot more for the mechanical aspect of it, more than the ego aspect.
Yeah.
So you get a guy who's mechanical, he'll apply himself in a mechanical matter. He'll put X amount of Z or whatever, and he gets that X amount out of. You got a guy who, I'm not saying this to be rude, but subconsciously he's ego-driven.
I know what you mean.
So he can't be mechanical. He wants to be here, but in reality he's here. So he's overstepping every time he performs, and it's dangerous, and his outcomes are like this. Instead of getting mechanical, he won't allow himself to go to that level, to learn what it feels like. His ego won't let him learn. You get blinded by your own testosterone.
Yep.
And it's a hard thing. Guys are testosterone driven. We're very competitive.
Of course, yeah.
So it's in our nature.
Everybody wants to be
So to
better.
break down and say, I don't know what I'm doing, some guys never go there.
Yep.
And you see them dropping out of competition, and they'll go do something else.
Because they cannot stand it.
Right. But it's the thing about learning. You have to be humble to the aspect of, I don't know anything. Let's see what happens.
Just stay open-minded.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Evolve. You have to evolve. Keep evolving.
Because we always have that devil on the shoulder.
Oh yeah. He's just
whispering in your ear, like, you are the best.
Yeah, that
you
is.
know how to do it. Just show them off.
That's what I call big head.
Yeah.
Once you get big head, the learning stops, and then the other guys pass you up.
Yeah.
But easier said than done.
Yeah. I don't want to jump the topics, but were you in that zone when you were doing the records?
That was my question. Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's pretty interesting. Those that 8-shot record a second, and the reload and the multiple targets. I never did at practice.
You never did it on practice?
Never, not at one time.
So you just announced that you are doing the recording,
and I went to them. What? That's honest. That's an honest statement.
So my other question would be like, how many repetitions did you do before? But
to make them happen, I kind of learned on the job what to do. That's that pressure thing coming in.
Yeah.
You get on the line and you feel that adrenaline come on and you're shaking.
Yeah. We can tell from the video.
That's a gift. Mm-hmm. That's your body saying, "I'm taking you to the next level. Do you want to go?"
Wow.
And if you can smile and say, "I'm here for the ride," it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
And if you don't smile and take it, it's going to drown you.
That's right.
So
if you don't smile,
if I'm there vibrating, and you're going to shoot man against me, you're probably going to have to put out a pretty good performance.
Nice.
Because I'm going to be at the next. It's going to be. I'm going to go for it. That's a gift. It's a truly nature's gift to bring you to the next level, subconsciously and physically too, because you get that adrenaline dump, and it goes right to your muscle.
Yeah.
I never thought about it this way.
It's energy, man. It's God's gift to you. It's like, run, brother, here we go.
Yeah.
Let the horses loose, you know.
You need to take that chance.
I was expecting the answer that this was kind of like your thing when you were exhibition shooter, that you were training it like hundreds and hundreds of times or thousands of times.
You do, but a lot of it's. I was telling some guys, about performances at a match. I usually allow myself about a 15% less performance at a match.
Mm-hmm.
Than what I get. Very seldom do you exceed practice.
Yeah.
And so what I think a big fault of a lot of guys, me included, is you go out and you do drills multiple times and you look at your watch, timer, you say, I can do this in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
But you didn't show up cold and in front of an audience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And run a 3 second. So what can you do cold, distracted in 3 seconds? What's your reality moment? And we drag practice times into competitions, and you're never happy. And you start bucking, and you get that subconscious fight in your conscious. And then you're not happy. Your ego.
You're stuck.
Yeah. So then that's the hard thing, is just actually be real. What's my real time here? So I just work on the basics. And when I go to a match, I just go like this is basics. I've just got to apply myself, trigger, target, pull the trigger, feel the gun. Let it happen.
And just put it all in one flow.
All in one flow. Yeah.
So we already started with the topic of the records. Let's talk more about it, because that video that was recorded, it's completely viral. Everybody's seen it multiple times.
I watched it on the very beginning of my journey.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what's the IPAC, and I watched your videos.
Yeah.
And what really stuck in my mind was the moment when after the reload.
Right.
So the time when you actually reloaded and went back to the presentation and the actual shooting, it felt like nothing, like really nothing. It was like I thought that it has been cut by the post production.
Yeah.
Because it was really and that momentum was like that. What forced me to
go
reverse and to watch it multiple times afterwards.
Yeah. So just for the audience, we're talking about the record shooting of the 6 rounds, reload 6 rounds,
and 6 rounds.
So if you look at the grips on the gun are smooth.
Okay.
And I usually put cornstarch on my hands before I shoot to make them slippery.
Make them slippery.
There again, a revolver doesn't hold much ammo. The biggest job is getting ammo in the gun.
Mm-hmm.
Shooting is secondary. If I
need to feed the gun.
If you got to feed the thing. So if I'm shooting a stage and I got to do 6 reloads, that's 6 times the gun is not in my hand.
But how do you maintain your grip and your control?
It's just a spacer. I don't use the surface of the grip or anything except spacing my fingers.
Okay.
You see, that's
directly opposite.
There again, that's never been taught anything.
Yeah.
To me, when I look at a revolver match, is pretty much who can speed load it the quickest.
If I would have to finish your sentence, I would say chalk on the end.
No, it's cornstarch. I want my hands slippery. Matter of fact, at a competition, you'll be walking around, a guy shakes your hand, he's got that stuff on going. Dang, I got to go wipe
Jerry
it off.
did it on purpose.
I got to go wipe it off, get my cornstarch back on. So if you saw me shooting the Nationals or an IDPA match or something, I got a little shaker, looks like baby powder, it'd be cornstarch, and I'm slicking up my hands, get them good and slimy. Good, so when they're not slimy, they're slick.
And didn't it mess with your grip and
makes it better?
Makes it better.
Yeah.
So it makes you to control
the you can miss the grab and still get it in line by the time it's up. You see, if you have checkered or sticky, you grab it wrong, it's pointing that way.
Yeah.
How many times you done that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just opposite. I want the thing slick. So if I grab it wrong, which is probably 90% of the time, by the time I get it out, I can squirm it and still have a good performance. So you're thinking exactly opposite.
Yeah.
So if you'd have told me to check on my gun or something, I would have said, well, I'm losing a lot of time right there.
Wow.
You see how not knowing sometimes is knowing?
Yeah.
So if I would have been introduced in a style. I wouldn't have ever thought that you need slick and you need smooth and you need you know, but it's really the, you know,
because you would have that fundamental, so
right. You'd have had that ingrained.
Yeah,
I had to have this.
Like
I got to put this stuff on my hand.
Yeah.
Where I don't want that.
Wow.
You see how different it is?
It is.
Yeah.
So
that's totally different.
But anyway, it's got me where I'm at.
Yeah.
Well, can we talk a bit more about that one afternoon when you shot those records? Because that video recording is so iconic. So I want to know more about the background, how it happened, what was the background story?
Well, I wanted to do this is coming from exhibition shooting. You hardly ever know of a true professional in any one sport.
Mm-hmm.
If I said John Satterwhite or I just talked about him today. I'm terrible with names. Anybody in a discipline, do you know his performances? You don't, but you know what an exhibition guy does. Mm-hmm. He's the dog and pony show guy.
Yeah,
so I figured if I was winning revolver matches, I had no recognition. So to do a record, put you
out there.
Yeah, put your name out.
Yeah,
so if I was going to continue winning, like if I told you I won 21 consecutive revolver championships, I-Corps, you wouldn't even know it.
Yeah.
But you know I can shoot 12 rounds fast.
Yeah.
So to make myself relevant and stay in the forefront and stay in business, I have to be a dog and pony show guy. So I started shooting records. And that was something a concept I took from exhibition shooting and put it into professional shooting so I could stay relevant until I'm 70 years old. And I'm still here. A lot of the other guys who just competed, they competed and they phased out,
vanished,
and yet I'm still relevant.
Exactly. So
that was my mindset on doing records.
So how do you start? You said that you are trying to break the records. You brought the media to it.
Yeah.
Basically like that.
Yeah. So that the last one I did with the plate racks was really a fun one because I hadn't shot revolver in matches in like about 9 years or something. So to get back into the revolver game, I had to get back into a revolver cycle and the vision skills that I had lost by shooting multi-gun. Mm-hmm. And it was a challenge for me to get back into the revolver, which I thoroughly enjoy. And so you set a goal and then you try to achieve it. Competition is a constant maintenance thing.
Yeah.
And exhibition shooting, not so much. So I put a lot of intensity into it for a short period of time. I had a good payout. So,
yeah.
Because as you get older, your hands, you get beat up. I didn't want to shoot myself out of the game. Mm-hmm. So I kind of got out of handgun shooting and went into multi-gun, 3-gun stuff. Mm-hmm. Let my hands, I say heal, but last longer.
Yeah, you can maintain them functioning.
Right, because if you just hammer, if you were working a hydraulic hammer, you'll beat yourself to death. Same thing with a handgun. You get the same carpal tunnel and damage.
Yeah. So also tennis elbows and stuff.
Yeah, so I got to that point to where I'm doing what I want to do, but I want to do it longer. So I had to branch out into other sports that were a little less intensive on the hands. Mm-hmm. So the multi-gun let me go there. And it was exploding in the U.S. at that time anyway. That's where the money was.
I believe that's still the king of the sport.
The 3-gun stuff. Yeah. So it allowed me to shoot more platforms, 22s and centerfires and shotguns. Mm-hmm. So that was actually a good timing on me to go into that. So.
Yeah.
What I want to say again, going back to that iconic video, that was in the 90s, right?
Yes, 90. I want to say 97, somewhere along in there. Yeah.
So 97. So back then,
maybe 99.
I'm not sure.
I don't keep.
We can fact check that.
One thing I do is I don't keep track of anything I've ever done. I don't have any trophies anywhere to look at. I don't want to know anything that I've done previous. I want it to be new.
You want to focus on the future.
Because the last thing you want to do is say, well, I got 21 championships, now I got to do 22.
Okay.
Or I won this last 3-gun match, now I got to win another one. I don't want to know anything about it. So you asked me the year, I don't remember. I don't try to catalog anything. I want to say like I got a 3-gun match coming up, and I better go train.
There's always new challenge.
I want to train. You know, I want to learn something different instead of saying.
So you never get enough.
You can't. You don't want to have a trophy there to remind you of history, because it doesn't matter. Tomorrow matters. History means nothing. So.
That's an interesting approach.
You know?
Yeah.
But what I want to say, why I start speaking about that it was in the 90s.
Yeah.
Well, there was no internet. There were no phones with YouTube and this kind of stuff. So it was pure television. We can see on a video that it's some sort of documentary that was on a TV.
Yeah, that was So John Scouten.
Yeah.
Shooting USA.
Well, unfortunately, not in our TV. We couldn't really see that until the internet brought it to
documentaries back then.
But that's what I mean. Did you feel it that once the internet was very common with the platforms like YouTube, that you got a certain hit of popularity because of this video?
It helps. The other thing I did, there was a series of shooting documentaries called History of the Gun. In the United States, Tales of the Gun. It was the History Channel had them.
Yeah.
So I volunteered to do a shooting exhibition for them, blindfolded. Did you ever see that one?
No.
So I shot 10 yards with a 6.25 revolver, blindfolded, shot 6 and reloaded and shot 6.
Hitting the target.
Oh yeah, I had a group like this, 5.4 seconds.
Oh.
I learned more training for that than I did in 20 years of shooting with my eyes open.
That's just amazing.
So
yeah, but it makes sense. It makes sense, actually.
I learned more from that. That sounds totally. You're gonna say he had his eyes closed. What could he learn? You learn tremendous amount with your eyes closed.
So first, you need to have a perfect eyesight to see fast, and then you blind yourself, and you learn the rest.
So did you control?
What I also learned was I had trained at home, and I was ready for the performance. So when I go there, and they have a zoom boom, you know, like they put the camera in and they zoom it behind you and they film. So I'm facing the target. I get a chance to set up, and they blindfold me and they said, "Okay, now don't shoot till we give you the cue." So they put that boom behind me, and now I'm looking that way, but subconsciously in my ears are listening this way.
Okay.
And then they say, "Go." Think about it. Think about what I just said. I'm looking that way, and they blindfold me. Now they're going to give me the shooting cue from behind me. So where am I?
Yeah.
What do I feel? That caught me totally off guard, because I had my timer on, and I would start myself, and I didn't have it behind me. So when I got there to do the performance, I did it on my second try. The last shot on my reload went a little bit low, but I did it on the second run.
So that caught you off guard.
Yeah. So I had to learn instantly on the spot. Basically, I'm Johnny on the spot. I got to solve the problem. What do I do? What do I do? And you really learn how to feel your gun, because I did a reload. I swap hands, put it back in the shooting hand. Still have to be on the mark 10 yards.
Yeah.
You know,
it's
probably one of my. I would have to say it's probably one of my best performances as far as what it required of me in a short period of time to execute.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that this really opened up your work with the imagination and really seeing yourself perform? Because once you are blindfolded, what you can do, you can only imagine. You can only imagine there's a target and I'm supposed to, aim this way. And
maybe it's a muscle memory. Maybe
you don't. Now, when you think about it, I'm swapping hands.
Yeah.
So I'm reloading my left hand, I'm loading my right hand, and I got to mount it back in, and I have to be on target without seeing.
Sounds impossible.
Did you have to position your body?
So that's why I'm saying we waste so much of us on the line that you can't really comprehend what you're wasting.
Yeah.
It's so much more to be had. We're all shooting so scared and so restricted that we don't even realize the potential we have to do these shooting acts. And to me, as a person, I'm always thinking of all this brain material I got and I'm not using it. Mm-hmm. So how do you bring it out in the forefront? How do How do you interact with it? You know, what makes it happen? Yeah. You know, because we can process data so much quicker. It's just we waste so much, and we call it a performance. we didn't even start yet, you know.
Yeah.
So that really opened my eyes on a lot of my training and stuff that I tried to do when I was doing law enforcement military classes, trying to impart some of that knowledge on them, and so it's constantly learning.
Yeah.
So
that's
never stops.
So desired flow, right? I'm trying to remember my today's stages, for instance. I was thinking I was providing feedback to myself, and as you mentioned, so many unuseful informations you are trying to process at the time, and you are missing the point. You are missing the things you should focus on.
Yep.
Yeah.
We don't know what we're doing yet.
That's
why there's a next level.
Yeah.
So.
And then you accidentally find the sweet spot. And you shoot a stage with the 100% of the flow, or with high percentage of the flow. And it was, how did that happen?
Right.
What was that? So how do I repeat that?
Yeah, that's the amazing part.
Yeah.
That's the amazing part.
Yeah. But it happens also in different parts of life, I would say. Sometimes just do things like this out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
And then you just, impress yourself, and it's like, how do I repeat that?
But the biggest anchor is a perception of a performance. That's the anchor. You have to drag. You're dragging that to the range. You got a 2-ton anchor behind you.
You need to perform
before you even shot. So you have to just get it out of them. That I bring nothing to the stage except me.
Yeah.
No perception. No testosterone.
That's good.
No win. No loss. I'm just there. I'm gonna shoot. Okay.
Just switch it on.
Here we go.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I wish I had that switch.
Here we go.
Yeah, I cannot find it on me.
It takes, a guy tell me, says, how many rounds does it take to get good? I'm going like, well, have you ever walked into a secretary's office? She's typing like 60 words a minute, talking on the phone, drinking a cup of coffee, and smoking a cigarette at the same time. I said, that's 40 years on the job, 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
It's flowing.
Yeah.
She can do all these things. Talk to you at the same time.
And think about the kids, or thinking about the dinner she makes tonight, right?
She's got 40 years on the job.
Yeah.
So to explain that to somebody, for her to explain that to you, she could not explain it to you and make it relevant because you haven't got your feet wet yet.
Yeah.
So you have to put the time in, then doors open, but you have to be smart enough to see where that door leads to. It's just like that guillotine target. Life happens that way. That guillotine falls, and you see the next step. You're able to step through it. Some guys can, and some guys won't. The knowledge is there, but they won't accept it, and they buck it because they went to a class. And now I know. Once you go to a class, and now I know, that is like, don't say that.
Yeah, this is so comprehensive topic.
There's no right and wrong. It's only winning and losing.
Yeah.
No right and wrong. I don't care what aspect of life it is or what you're doing. There's no right and wrong. It's only winning and losing.
Yeah. We see it so often in life, right? In all the topics, or in all different kind of. You see engineer or doctor.
Right. Yeah.
They studied, I'm a doctor now.
But
and then you have like a random person like doing the same stuff, better.
Concept.
Yeah.
They have a concept of knowledge.
Yeah.
Well, this is a pure gold. It's like one quote after another. We can make patches with that. And
we'll write a book of
exactly.
That's why the gun industry is full of armchair professionals. They sit around and they speculate what they got to hold your gun like that, and it's not that way at all. I mean, it's self-defense. With a firearm is totally would have to be the next level of stress. So if you own, and you have, just like a soldier going into combat.
Yeah.
If you don't train him correctly, he doesn't react correctly. So if you think you're going to just buy a firearm, you're going to be John Wayne. You're not going to be John Wayne. You're not going to. So So same thing in competition. You know, that's why I want to do the visual stuff. I'm really the more I talk to you now, I'm getting more excited about actually doing it. So I'm gonna have to put that as my next one of my next goals, to try to come up with a visual training routine.
And you're thinking about doing it with the gun or without the gun, or just
it would have to be with something that makes you stressed, with a performance-based vision.
I see.
Because stress robs you of vision. It does.
Yeah, absolutely.
You probably have had close calls on a highway, and everything comes down to that. But yet, all that parameter of vision you wasted, and you just looked at one aspect of it. That's what shooting does. Makes you look here, and the target's
tunnel
here,
vision,
and the next target's here. So yeah.
Yeah, there's some superpower.
Not really.
Yeah, I believe that every one of us has a superpowers. We just don't know how to use it.
That's a very good statement. We're gifted with this huge computer, and we want to drive it instead of letting it drive us.
We have so many different programs stopping us from actually using our superpowers.
Because you have a concept.
Yeah.
Once you have a concept of knowledge, you've already put it in a box.
Yeah. Then we have expectation.
That's another box.
That's another box. That's so many boxes above me. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you are coming from the gun family, I would say. So guns have been always around you. They have been always taken positive way and being part of their life. How was your approach to motivating and raising Lena to be a professional shooter?
This episode is not over yet. You can listen to the second half on Patreon, where for the price of just a couple of rounds, you'll get access to all full episodes. And if you would prefer, you can also purchase this single episode as a one-time download. You will find the link below.
We had a midwife to come in. She was late. I was scared beyond what I could say. That's what keeps us in the United States free. Is every man should be armed.
Yep.
It's a given right. So they came over and they wanted to put these devices on me. We shot, and the sensor didn't pick up because it was so smooth. The best shot I ever made with a 500 revolver. I shot an alligator out of an airboat on the move. And something told me to go back and look at the load manual. So I go back, look at the load manual, 126 something, and I looked at the can of powder, wrong powder, pistol powder. That gun, it feels like it wants to be shot. So when I'm pulling the trigger, that gun's talking to me. It's going, okay, I'm ready. Here we go. I just touch it off. You feel it. You feel it. It just, you just want to shoot it. That's what I'm looking for as the result. So a lot of people misconcept comfort with application. Trigger. Trigger is always more important than sight alignment. Doesn't matter on what platform you shoot, trigger is always more important than sight alignment. Always. Mr. Eugene Stoner was still alive at the time. I never met him. He came by and introduced himself, and I had an opportunity to spend about 3 hours with him. I'd like to say it's all me, but I've said that earlier. It's not all me. It's everybody I ever met. It's what you are. You've accumulated knowledge from a lot of good people, and then you just possess it and you pass it on. I want to pass it on to other guys, so they can come out there and have fun, have a good time. And I'm truly enjoy talking with you guys as much as I do competing. You know what I mean? Being here with you guys is an experience that I remember probably as much as where I finish in the match.